Cerebral palsy is the most common motor disability in childhood, often affecting a person's ability to move, their balance, their posture. It can also leave some people unable to speak. Our newest addition to the team here at Cincy Lifestyle, Pete Scalia, introduces us to a young man who, despite not being able to express himself verbally, has found a way to express himself artistically through his paintings.
This is a working studio. So Michael paints here 3 days a week, and it's also an exhibition space where people can come and see his art. So Michael was in high school, and he came home and they said, you know, Michael really enjoyed painting. Did you know that? Does he paint at home? And I said, no. So he participated in, your traditional job programs when he first came out of high school. And so Michael just kept saying, I don't want to be doing this. I just want to do my art, and this is how we met Damone Butler.
Our friend sent me a text message and said, I set up an interview with you with this guy named Michael. And I thought, well, I really hadn't planned on, I'm not a home health aide, I'm not in the medical field, and but I thought, well, I'll go to the interview and see what happens. But ever since then, we've sort of been hanging out and having a ball.
Having another artist to be with Michael during the day and help Michael to be able to do his art has been so important. His first subject matter, we always say, was Sesame Street. For years, he would watch the old Sesame Street episodes. The Grouch and Grover and Big Bird. And so that's what he started painting. And he still paints those today because they're very popular still. And he loves to paint architecture and buildings. He just loves to paint what he sees, and also what he really enjoys is painting what other people would like. So for example, people will ask him to paint their pets or their dogs and their cats, or photos of their family. So he does commission. How that helps is that it helps support him as an artist, right? So it helps him pay the rent and buy more canvas and more paint. It's always a challenge to figure out how to make it work, but we have found a way to make it work for Michael, and it's been so wonderful.
He comes and says, I want to do this. I want to do Super Grover. And then we'll go online and look at images of Super Grover. And he sort of scrolls on my phone and picks out the one he likes the best. Larry King passed away, so he wanted to paint a Larry King portrait. So he pretty much comes in with an idea of what he wants to paint. And then we look at images and sort of figure out how to best accomplish that. It takes maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3, depending on how much we have to do. Marvel the Martian, I think, took maybe a week, because we do the yellow, we did the red, the black, and then we do his helmet, and then we do his eyes. Michael paints all of it, which is pretty phenomenal that he can do that. He painted his mom and dad, sisters and brothers, and his brother lives in LA, comes in every now and then to visit.
So Michael's all over social media. He has a Facebook page, Instagram.
Typically everywhere we go, somebody yelling out his name, hey Michael! Yeah. For all the challenges that he has, and for him to have as much joy, is amazing. Just the things that he has to endure and to be so joyful is definitely inspiring. That's his goal, is to, when you look at his paintings, is to smile. Yeah.
What an awesome story. And Pete's here now to talk with us a bit more about it. So, Pete, you spent some time with Michael, quite obviously. What's his process like?
It's really fascinating, Clyde and Mona. So his friend Damone mentioned it takes them a week or two to get through the process to create each painting, and that's because they work in layers. So when you see the different colors, like he mentioned on some of those paintings, they'll start with the background color, then they'll let that dry. Once that dries, they'll add a little bit at a time until finally the pieces are finished. And it's really just fascinating and inspiring that he can do that himself.
I absolutely got chills watching your piece.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. So it looked like there were more than just art for sale in the room, right?
He does, actually, Mona. You saw some of his artwork. You can purchase T-shirts that also have his art on there. And another popular item he makes are wall plates for like outlets or light switches. He says his Sesame Street paintings, he can actually paint those, and those are a pretty popular item as well. And it all, again, goes towards paying his rent in the studio and also paying for all his materials.
All right. Pete, tell us how people can see Michael's work.
Well, he does have an exhibit coming up in October. He's at the studio most days. You can purchase the paintings at his gallery. It's at 2868 Coleraine Avenue. It's in Silverton. It's right next to the community sculpture park that they have there that you might have seen if you've driven by. And he welcomes guests pretty much any day of the week.
Well, Pete, beautiful story, beautifully told. We sure do appreciate it.